You're listening to the InFocus Interview Show, brought to you by Photofocus.com, an online publication filled with education and inspiration for visual storytellers. This episode is made possible by our partners, Lume Cube, the world's most versatile light, and Drobo, a smart storage solution. Now here's your host, Vanelli.
Hello and welcome to a special InFocus interview. I'm Vanelli and I'm here in Las Vegas for Photoshop World. Now, Photoshop World is a gathering of photographers, graphic artists, Lightroom lovers, and of course Photoshop users from all over the world. Now we come together for 3 days of accelerated learning thanks to Kelby One. Now I'm excited because I have a special guest here, and he's, you all know him from B&H, and he's a great photographer, thirst for knowledge. This is Abe Curland. Hello, Abe.
Thank you for that great introduction. But that was a great photographer part. I hang around with great photographers. So
well, okay, so there's a song I really like. It says, the person in the song is saying how they want to become great someday.
Yeah.
So it says, I hang with the greats. Now, I may not be there, but I still hang with the greats because someday I'm going to make it there.
Well, I hang with the greats.
Well, okay, let's talk about, so the topic is going to be the thirst for knowledge.
Yep.
You know, how to take advantage of situations, to, how to work. When I say take advantage, I'm not meaning, in a selfish way.
I understand.
But how to use the opportunities. That's a better example.
Take advantage of opportunities.
That's perfect. So let's first ask, what do you do at B&H?
Well, at B&H right now, and I've been in a lot of positions at B&H since I started there in 2007, but right now I am what it's called an affiliate campaign manager, which means that I work in the affiliate marketing department. We have affiliates, if you know what the affiliate programs, how they work. So B&H has affiliates like other companies do, and I'm assigned mostly the photographers, or that's who I mostly have as photographers, who I deal with them on a day-to-day basis, getting them loans, helping them with getting reviews done, and whatever other needs they might in their partnership.
I'm glad you said that. So when you go to a website, let's say you go to YouTube, and you're watching something that's free. It's free on YouTube. Somehow, the person who's creating that content has to get paid for it. So somewhere they have to get paid for it. Now, through YouTube, it could be through YouTube ads.
That's
it could be the affiliates, if they're an affiliate with B&H. So if you find somebody you really love and you love following them on YouTubes, and they do mention, hey, please use my affiliate link, please do, because that's supporting those people. Now keep in mind, for the gear review, in fact, right now I'm reviewing the new DJ Osmo Pocket that you sent to me.
Which I sent. Well, I didn't send it to you. I loaned it to you.
Loaned it to me.
Right?
Yes.
Which is a very unique part of our affiliate programs that we do loan. Not a lot of affiliate programs don't lend gear. We do. It's a big perk.
Now, and again, because for me, if I had to buy this to do a review on it and not make any money off of that review, well, charity only goes so far.
Yeah.
I can only do it for so long.
Exactly.
So that's where the partnership with B&H and our Photofocus partnership with you is absolutely phenomenal. I'll use one more example. I'm heading into the Badlands, and I put a message out on Facebook, oh my God, I can't believe this. My 7200 lens, my sports lens, kind of took a dive in the ocean, so that one was gone. So I borrowed my son's 80 to 70-700, 80 to...
Is it a Nikon?
Yeah, Nikon.
80 to 400.
200, 80 to 200. 80 to 200, that was a very, very old lens. Oh. I gave it to him. I forgot that he dropped it a long time ago, or I dropped it, one of us did, and it wasn't working. I'm in the Badlands. He sees it on Facebook. Vanelli, what do you need? And he sent me the Tamron 150 to 600. And so I did a review. That's the cowboy photo I have. And the horses that stared me down. I have that, but it's funny how the partnership there. So I thank you so much for all the stuff you've done. And we got a little off topic on that, but that's where, again, if you're watching any of your YouTube people or anything from websites, even in Photofocus, please do click on their affiliate links to help them so they can give you more content. All right, now with all that being said, great. How do you use that for an opportunity?
Well, some people go to their work. They start at 9, they finish at 5 or 6, they go home, and that's the end of that. I happen to love my job. I happen to have a great job. I love the people that I work with. So it forms into something more than just a dollars and cents relationship that I have with my affiliates. So we become friends, we become partners, both in business, and I get the opportunity to spend time with them when they're actually doing photography, and I get to learn from that. I was not one of these people who picked up a camera when I was in 7th grade. Yes, I had an AE1 that my father gave me, but I just kind of took some snapshots, no idea what an aperture was. I didn't know the difference between an f-stop and a bus stop,
Now, is everybody at B&H into photography? Or
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not
You
necessarily.
don't have to be. But here's one, something that people have always said all the time, a myth. Well, you work at B&H, you get everything for free.
Oh, absolutely not. I would rather be an affiliate. Then I can get stuff. I want to be an affiliate so I can get stuff, because for me to borrow equipment, you can't do that. It's impossible. B&H wants to remain a viable business, and you can't just be throwing out gear.
So here's what's neat. Because you're hanging out with a lot of photographers and graphic artists, it kind of re-inspired you to become a photographer.
Absolutely. I had a couple of friends at B&H, and I started to do some photo trips together. Then I started to meet people. I started to talk to people, whether it be Moose Peterson, Kevin Ames from Photofocus, Scott Bourne, some other people would look at my photos. And this, I think, is a very interesting part. Now I do this, but when I show someone a photo, I don't want you to just tell me, that's a nice photo.
Tell me exactly what I did. And that's
I want to know. So when someone shows me a photo, I say to them, you want to show me some photos? Do you want me to tell you that it's nice, or do you want to tell you what I really think? And I just want to tell one quick story. You can.
Yep, fire away.
I was in a dentist chair. Oh, you work at B&H. I just went to Iceland. Oh, I want to show you some pictures. Hope he doesn't see this on YouTube. I hope he doesn't see this. I want to show you some pictures I took. I said to him, do you want me to tell you what I think, or do you want me to tell you they're nice? He didn't even understand the question.
So I would just tell him they were nice.
I just told him they were nice.
In the dentist chair.
So I saw his overexposed, lousy composition, Aurora pictures as he was going crazy and just going, very nice. So that's what I've done. I wanted to learn. I've been told by people who work with me that I'm very teachable. Is that good? Is that a word? I'm teachable.
Yes. Well, yes. And if you're not, look how many people we all deal with.
That's right.
And honestly, if a person isn't teachable, you talk to them, they're not teachable. I don't want to waste my time or waste their time. Right. If they have an open mind, and that's why I said you have a thirst for knowledge. Yesterday, yourself, you, Cabesi, and myself, we went off to Nelson.
Right.
So Nelson here in Las Vegas is like a ghost town, so to speak.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And it's incredible. Coming around the corner, we're heading off into this desert. All of a sudden, it starts to come into view. He was like a little kid in a candy factory. Cabesi keeps saying it. He looked in the mirror, there you are, just all excited
it's so beautiful,
about seeing this. And when we got there, of course, it was everything from old antique cars,
everything antique, old pumps, everything from the old world.
And so the first thing you did was you grabbed your camera, and you looked at us and said, "Okay, guys, what are you guys thinking?" And you asked for advice. What are you guys thinking? Well, it depends. What do you want to shoot? And because you love landscapes,
I do.
Right? So you love being like a landscape photographer. So this was a little bit different because you're doing close up, you're doing composition stuff, and there was so much texture to photograph. So the neat thing is the opportunity you had was to hang out with Cabesi.
Wow, which was a fabulous experience.
And then myself showing you different things, like the one shot that Rich Harrington and I got.
That's right.
And I loved it because it made a memory. Oh yeah, Rich and I, we were here, what did I tell you, 2001? We took that photo together, and now I'm showing it to you. And I can't wait for him to see it. Right. He's going to say the same thing.
It came out really good, but I deleted it. Let's see if I can get it back.
We'll pull that back too. So that was one opportunity. Now this morning, and I mean, we kind of put you through the mill yesterday.
I did. I was exhausted.
4 a.m. he goes out with Moose Peterson.
Yep.
And what were you guys shooting there?
Well, we did a sunrise out in Red Rocks. There's actually just off the road. There's a thing called the Red Rocks Lookout. It's a nice little vista. Has a lot of nice texture and has the red rocks, and it's got some taller mountains. And the sun comes up from the east and kind of bathes into the valley, and it's just a really nice moment of changing light. And Moose was teaching us about depth of field, and he was teaching us about how to deal with the light and about how many stops, using filters and how to get more stops out of your camera and things like that.
So he talked to you about f-stops.
Stops of light. The most cameras have, let's say, five stops of you can get like 5 stops of light out of it, but a typical scene in bright sun might have 9 stops. So, what do you do now?
So what was he telling you?
Using a graduated filter will help
Perfect.
with that.
Okay, so
he
again,
taught us about the fact that when you focus to infinity, there's no depth of field. So what are you shooting at f8 for? Go f2.8. I mean, what do you care?
There's another good tip. See, so what I'm trying to do here, which is working great, is you're giving them the same tips that Moose gave you.
That's it.
So there's that opportunity.
Share the knowledge.
The whole paying it forward. So hear what he just said. Because I had that habit too. Shooting out, because I'm not a landscape photographer.
Right.
I like it, but you saw, like when we were out in the desert, like, oh, look how beautiful this is. I just want to walk out there, and I'm like, walk out where?
Yeah.
There, look up where? And then you saw like the little plants and just so many cool things. You opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I still like the studio scene, or I still like my sports scene. But the tip you just gave was you're shooting a landscape. If you're shooting into infinity, everything's going to be in focus. So if you shoot at f8 versus 2.8,
you're just shooting a slower shutter. If you're there at sunrise, they need a tripod. Let's hand hold it and do it at f2.8.
So that's a great tip. So, and
okay.
You know what? So while you got that tip from Moose, let's share them a tip that I had Cabesi tell you.
Cabesi showed me the fist. The fist. So if you're out, you don't have a model with you, you want to shoot a model tomorrow, and now I'm here now. Let's put up your fist. Your fist will give you a really good idea. Is the sun coming from over here? Do I need light over here? Is light on the top? It's 2 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Okay, it's going to come over here. He had one of those apps like Photo Pills. It wasn't called the Sunsetter maybe, but he had that just so you can see where the sun's going to come. If my hand's here, the sun's going to come over here. I never thought of that. This is just fabulous. You just go right over here, put your fist up like this. It really simulates pretty much like a head.
So and you said, here's your nose.
Yeah.
And of course, Cabesi, here's your nose. Well, here's Vanelli's nose.
Yeah.
But it was neat because the tip that Mike shared with you is, yes, in sunlight, you make a tight fist. So there's the sun coming back. Well, you're going to notice all of this in here is going to be in the shadow. You can see the shadows under your hand here.
You'll know we need reflectors. You'll know we need some fill flash, all that kind of stuff.
And then if you notice, right around here is lit. Well, now you know that light is wrapping around the subject. Yeah. So if this were a model's face, then you know exactly where that light is going to hit. So if you didn't have an assistant, you have your fist. So that's what you learned from Cabesi. And then for Moose, you're taught, when you're photographing these landscapes and you're just photographing to infinity, drop to a lower f-stop, so this way you don't need a longer exposure.
You don't need longer exposure, and of course there's other factors. These are just some simple tips. Doesn't mean that every single landscape photo you go to f2.8 and just go to infinity, because you may want to be telling some other kind of a story, which Moose is really, really fabulous at teaching. And what I've learned a lot is that what's the story you're trying to? You have to think about that photo. How many times do we see on Facebook a photo of a red sky? Wow, what a great! It's a red sky. I mean, what?
And what happened?
What happened? There's nothing to tell over here.
So another tip you brought out, which is really good. An amateur, and there's nothing wrong with amateur photographers, even photographers wanting to go to the next level.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to share your work with others. But here's the thing: if you share your work with others, and you ask for a critique, please ask, well, how do you want to be critiqued? As a beginner, as a novice or intermediate, as an advanced photographer, or as a paid professional? Because if you tell me how you want me to critique you, well, if they say, well, as a paid professional, I had one shot, and Cabesi caught it. The wedding ring was slightly crooked. He went nuts on me because that is something I should have caught. I didn't have an art director on set, and we were running and gunning. Usually I'll have two people with me. They would catch something like that because I'm thinking technical,
Right.
all
Yeah.
these other things. But other than that, it's a great photo.
Well,
No, and that,
go,
but
go to a Peter Hurley criticism, critique.
Criticism.
No, cut. No, Peter. Critique. He comes to B&H to speak in the event space a lot. The people bring in pictures, and I'll see a photo, and he'll look at it, and he'll just like, and I'm like, what does he see over there? He sees another goes, shabang, and what does he see over there? So I'm trying to see those things now. I must.
and
It takes
it's
practice.
like my brother Joe is a chef. He went to Paul Smith College in New York. We cried when he went off to college because he always cooked for us growing up.
Oh.
He's just absolutely phenomenal. So my brother Joe is a major chef. Yeah, when I cook for him, I'm like, ugh, I get a little nervous because I don't want him critiquing everything I do.
Yeah.
Or I ask him, Joe, when you go out to eat, I mean, is it hard to eat other people's food? He goes, what do you mean? I said, do you constantly critique when you're eating, like, oh man, I wish they did this, or wow.
They're missing 3 grams of basil.
Or wow, this tastes incredible.
Yeah.
I wonder what he did different. Let me check. He goes, yeah, no, you're overthinking it. I'm hungry, I eat. So,
Okay.
and sometimes with photos, it's the same thing. Sometimes you don't need to overanalyze it. Because if you look back at some of the old Marilyn Monroe photos, and you look back at some of the old classic photos that were not in a studio,
Yeah.
even a lot of the Beatles coming off the plane and stuff, technically a lot of them are not good photos. If you look from the technical side, hey, well, this is blown out. Look where the shadows are falling. But who cares? Because
They couldn't chimp.
Yeah, they couldn't chimp. But so who cares? It's the content, and that's something that I've worked at over the years. Where enjoy it. You see something you like, take the picture.
Right, yeah.
So-
Take the picture. But if you
Great. Actually, we have
but
one
if you
more.
want to get better, be open to critique.
Great.
And accept it. Don't well, gee, you took a picture of that bird, but the the bird's not coming out, it's going away from you. Well, I mean, that's where it's going. Okay, well, then it's not a good picture. It's still not a good picture. People always say that when you critique the photos.
Yeah.
They'll say, I say, well, like it's like a little bit blown out. Yeah, well, I didn't have really time to. Okay, it's still not a good photo.
Yeah. Good. All right, so that was your other tip.
Yeah.
Being open-minded to critiquing.
Yes.
And one other one, you had a chance to photograph wildlife photography with Scott Bourne.
Yeah, I do birds with
Bird
Scott Bourne.
photography.
Yeah, bird photography.
So, and I did see one. Was it a Roadrunner? No, what did you have? No. You had a little bird in the desert. You gave it a name.
Oh, I can't say it. I think it's the phainopepla.
That's the one. Okay, good. But
phainopepla.
What did Scott teach you to be able to see? Like, we could walk together and you're going to notice stuff like that. I'm going to, what are you looking at?
Yeah, that comes. Then I just learned by watching and realizing that walking with Scott and also with Jason Hahn, I've gone out with how I noticed that they really have this sixth sense for catching movement. And it's just something you'll just develop. You'll catch movement in your eye. Now it's a natural thing for me. I can catch a bird flying and get it right away.
Well, that's cool.
But really, I mean, Scott has been a great mentor in my bird photography, which is my major passion. That is what I do mostly. From all the other photography, if there's one thing I'm going to do, if I had to do one kind, it would be the bird photography. And besides teaching you the patience and other tips, I mean, he has taught me that you need to have water, you need to have food, and you need to have cover. And there will be birds. Now just sit down and wait. And then you want the sun at your back, and you hope that the wind is coming from your back, blowing into the front of you.
So this way the birds.
And you cannot control that.
Gotcha.
And if you don't get it this time, you'll have to come back again. But the birds will be there, and every bird can be taken a picture. I take a picture of a cowbird, very common cow. Take a picture of a common sparrow. If you get a nice background, there's a million things I've just learned. These little tips. He's taken the time out. He's very generous like that.
Well, Well,
And I
that's great.
appreciate it very much.
And now you're getting into headshots and portrait photography.
A little bit, yeah. People are starting to ask me. They say, "I got, oh, you got a camera? You take pictures?" There are people who are professional photographers. And there are people who get paid to take pictures. Okay, I put myself in the category of I get paid to take pictures. I want to come in, do a headshot. When I get better, then I'll call myself a professional.
So with that being said, I mean, I'm not sure what your prices are. Plus, you're in New York, the city area, so
Right.
I'm sure it's different from the rest of the country. But you brought out a good point. You said, look, there's people that get paid.
To
There's
take pictures.
people who photograph celebrities, and they get paid huge money because.
But there are professional photographers and they get paid the price for it. And there are people who just pick up a camera and say,
But you still, I looked at your work, and we talked about critique and some of it. The past ones you did very fine. The people
I'm hard on myself.
Yeah, but
I'm very hard. I want to be hard on. I want to be hard on myself.
Yeah, and that's good.
The people who come to me are very happy. They keep recommending more people to come to me. What I like about the headshots is just the interaction. You are trying to bring out an emotion. You're trying to bring out a personality. And it's a talent. It's someone like Peter Hurley who's got a great talent for that. I believe that someone like Kevin Ames also is probably very good at that. Levi Sim is probably really good at that.
See, so all the names he's throwing out, he's not name dropping by no means. What he's doing is by telling you by doing these names, is for you to go out and look and listen to. Right. To find out, well, what is Abe talking about? You learn from these guys. Now, one of the things I want to work with you is maybe when you retire, we have more time, is I'd love to do like my Assassin series or a series with you. So pick a funny series you'd like, and I'll work with you on how to develop it from beginning to end. And maybe use your grandchildren.
Right.
Not for the Assassin
When I
ones.
move to Florida, right?
Yes, when you come to Florida. So he has a choice between Florida and Las Vegas. So I'm trying to get him back to Florida area. So these are things.
I'll never relax if I come down there because we'll be together all the time.
But
my wife will be jealous.
Yeah. And he has a phenomenal wife. So this is what's really cool is you're in a position at B&H. You could do a simple 9 to 5. I come in, punch my time card. I'm out of here, done. I don't want to do anything else.
Send me an email. I'll look at it in the morning.
Yep. You want them, but instead he interacts with the rest of us. And on these shoots here, you're here for B&H to meet with the affiliates. He could easily. We had dinner last night. Okay, we're done. Bye. See you. Nope. He wakes up at 4 a.m. and now he goes out and shoots again. And what's neat is, Abe, this is why I said I really like, but the teachable part is you share that with others. And I saw you with that when we were with myself, Kevin, when we were in New York City. We went out and did little headshots, and I showed a couple tips, the reflector, how to do things quick. You were quickly to say, I like these ideas. Oh, I see. So if I do A, B, and C, this is how I get the shot. And then you share that knowledge with other people. And then that's how we make the photography world better.
Well, it's a beautiful community. It's one thing I like about the photography world. It's a pretty neat community in general. You don't find it to be very. I haven't seen it at all. I don't feel there's this intense political I'm better than you, you're better than me, jealousy. I don't see that. I see the same people at all the shows, whether it be WPPI, NAB, Imaging USA, Photoshop World. You see a lot of the same people are being floating around. That means they get along with everybody, and that makes it a beautiful community. It's a wonderful thing. Well, just walk down any show with Vanelli, and you can see what it means gregarious and what it means being loved.
Thank you so much. So this is technically not even day one of Photoshop World. Tomorrow's
day one.
This was pre-con day.
Where
people went out and did.
I'll be busy now because once it starts, I can't get hold of anybody.
Yeah.
So I kind of just hang around. We're gonna have a booth in there. I'll hang around in the show and I'll probably just get myself out.
Off the top of your head, what's the booth number? Do you know?
No.
But you can't miss it.
It's a small floor.
Okay, good. So you can't miss them.
You can't miss B&H.
If you are here at the show, please stop by and see Abe. Say hi to him.
Well, you won't find me at the booth. Well, leave your card at the booth. I'll find you.
Look at his face. It'll be easy to recognize him. So if you see him, stop and say hi.
Listen, I love meeting people.
Hey, thank you. I know you got to be exhausted. So
thank you very much.
You better hit take a quick nap.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
There's the meetup and a few other things.
I've done that. Doesn't include me, I don't think.
You're welcome to it. I told you welcome to come with me to the instructor dinner.
What's the meetup?
After the instructor dinner from 7 to 11 at night.
Yeah. Where?
At the Still. right here in the hotel.
It's a bar?
Yeah, it's a bar, yeah.
It's a club or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you get in?
You just walk right in.
But anybody can get in?
Well, yeah, because I think,
It's not being it's not being put aside just for Kelby people?
No, nope.
So people just kind of meeting up at the still at what, 7 o'clock?
Yep, 7 o'clock.
To 11. I would come over
sorry.
about 8:30.
Yeah, so
8:30, 9 o'clock maybe I'll come over.
that'll be great. I apologize. Those are buddy.
Yeah.
Those are buddy Dave Mosier.
Oh, will I see Mike tonight, you think? At the still?
Cabasi will be there.
At the still?
Yep. And so will Joe McNally should be there. A lot of the instructors should all be there.
Okay.
Maybe
This is for anybody. Are you sure I can show up?
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, it's wide open. People tell them.
All right.
But let's just walk. I'm a friend of Vanelli. We'll take care of it. Hey, guys, or Abe, thank you so much for taking your time
You're the
out
best,
of your
man.
schedule. Well, I'm Vanelli for Photofocus.
I'm B&H for... no, I'm not B&H. I'm Abe for B&H. I think I am Mr. B&H, actually. Someday they're going to say, that's the face of B&H.
Well,
Don't tell Mr. Schreiber that.
Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening to this on the podcast, and if you want, we did a special interview, which was being video. It's also like a video interview. You can see it over at the Photofocus YouTube.
Oh, beautiful. I'm famous.
Thank you again. I'm Vanelli.
I want to see 1 million likes.
We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye. Thanks.
You are listening to the InFocus Interview Show. If you like these interviews, be sure to subscribe to our weekly Photofocus podcast on photofocus.com. Thank you for joining us.